And God ordained America to be the greatest country in the world. And it is worth fighting for. It is worth bleeding for. And if it takes it, it's worth dying for the greatest country that this world has ever seen.
All right. What's going on, America? Welcome to the post, dare I say, greatest debate performance in history. I think it's arguably so. I think the argument can be made. So let's get business out of the way first. We need each and every one of you to make sure that you hit the like button right now. The more you hit the like button, the more people see this video. The more you hit the share button, the more people see this video. And of course, if you are new to this channel, new to this show, make sure to hit the follow button. Excuse me. I am still in New York City. You can kind of see it out there. I'm going off of 3 hours of sleep, a lot of caffeine, too much caffeine probably. I'm jittery today, and a freaking
up on Mountain Dew.
dream, baby. We got an election to win. 35 days, we take back the country. Let's go ahead and get the chat blowing up before we introduce everybody in the show. If you think J.D. Vance not only won the debate, but absolutely thunder-kicked, skull-dragged, sumo slapped all three of those women that were debating last night in the face, comment yes or no in the chat right now. I want to see the chat blow up like never before. But let's introduce everyone that's in the show today. Ladies and gentlemen, producer Royce is here.
Good morning. I have to ask, what is a thunder kick?
Hey man, if you don't know, don't ask.
It's the Sparta kick from This Is Sparta.
I have no idea.
He won't.
Wait, you've never seen 300?
I'm not.
Oh my gosh. Okay, and of course you hear him in the background. Everybody's favorite grandma, Bossy Todd, is here. Exactly. Boys, I don't even know what to say to you. Can you go to all
What
three of
is
us
it
real
with
quick?
you hiring producers that don't know nothing?
I was
Zack
sheltered
Snyder,
as a child.
300,
I love Zack
the
Snyder.
movie?
Love Zack Snyder. I just haven't seen it yet. It's on my list.
Well, you need to move it to the top.
Okay. Anyway,
when did that movie come out? What was it, 2001 or
You're
something?
probably like 6. You didn't have a beard when it came
2006, 2007, something like that?
Okay. Yeah, I was like 3 years old.
Oh, God, that's terrible. Why would you say something like that to me?
Because it's
man.
true. I was
Such
born
a
in
thing.
2002.
It was so...
God, night.
Okay, moving on after that despair. All right, guys, we made some pre-debate guesses. I did say I would love to see J.D. Vance just karate kick people literally. He didn't do that. He did a much better job than what I said. However, I did say that the vice presidential debate is normally far more civil than you see the presidential debates. And I think that you did witness that. And I think JD's excellence was that he assassinated them while being like this super calm, reasonable guy.
Just a nice guy.
Just a nice dude.
He killed him with kindness.
We're going to break down the best moments of the night, and we're also going to break down the media's reaction. But we also got a couple of disturbing things to talk to you about, because it wouldn't be Dear America if we didn't have despair in some of the show as well. I want to give an update on the donations from yesterday. We are calculating it up. YouTube is slow on the amount of money, but if we are not at 20,000, I think we're close enough. I'm going to put us over that mark. I am talking to Rumble right now, just so you guys know, the way Rumble systems normally work, when you make donations, it pays out in net 30. So I'm talking to Rumble about changing their entire way that they do business to release the funds early. So by this Friday, we can make a donation to Donald Trump's hurricane relief GoFundMe thing. And I'm going to make the donation. A lot of you guys were asking this yesterday. I'm going to make the donation in the name of the Dear America family. So you guys will be able to see it there, and your donations making a big difference for those that need it the most. So that's the update right there. We're working on it right now. I literally was talking to the main people at Rumble yesterday, and the last update I got is Typically, it doesn't pay out for 30 days, but because of the situation, we're going straight to the top to try to get it paid out immediately. So, working on it, and I will keep you guys updated. We're going to make it happen either way. Even if I got to upfront it and then I'll just get it back later, we're going to make it happen because you guys are awesome. And the amount of money raised yesterday, if we can talk about real life things really quickly, was absolutely amazing. I'm sure Todd has gone over this at nauseum because I was out yesterday being in the war room. But from me, I just want to say, you guys remind me why I started doing this in the first place. And there are times where I don't want to do this anymore because I'm tired of the evil, I'm tired of the darkness. But you guys make it to where I'm reminded why I do it. So thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you guys. You guys are awesome. All right, Todd, any initial thoughts you want to bring in before we get into the show today?
Well, I mean, it just I don't understand, and we got a lot of videos to talk about. Like there was a couple, special people that that's the best thing I can say. That said, Walz won this thing. Unless you're a deaf mute, I don't see how you could have watched this debate and think Walz really got anything on the guns, and especially on the abortion thing like that. And I said this last night. I think out of the entire night, the thing that aggravated me the most was when Walz said we're not pro-abortion, we're pro-woman's rights. Like that's the same thing, dude. Like I mean, that's like saying I'm not a drunk driver. I was just driving drunk. And if you're so woman's rights, then why did Riley get her NCAA championship taken away from her? Why in San Jose State right now, there's 3 colleges that have withdrawn from volleyball because they have a dude playing on their team. So obviously you're not pro women's rights, or you would be taking dudes out of their sports. And Graham is gone.
Yeah, I think we lost Graham for a second.
Yay. So anyway, I mean that's what aggravated me the most about the whole night. And of course, sometimes it's just the guns. I could literally put a gun on the wall right
I'm
now.
here. I'm here. I'm
Like
here. Sorry.
I
Sorry,
could
I
put a
had to I
gun.
had to switch internet. Sorry. I'm in
Don't
a
do that
hotel,
again.
people. I'm in a hotel. Continue.
Yeah, but talking about it was sometimes it's just the guns. I could hang a gun on that wall right there, and if I don't touch it, it's going to do nothing but sit there and collect dust.
I
So,
agree. All right. We got a lot of things to talk about, but first we got to talk about the sponsor for today, and we're super pumped to have Angel Studios as a sponsor of the show today. Angel Studios is, of course, responsible for The Chosen. They're, of course, responsible for Sound of Freedom, and they're also responsible for the movie Sound of Hope, an amazing story about adoption. This reigns a special place in my heart, being an adoptive family. It's an amazing story that really will challenge the heart of many people to perhaps go and consider adoption in their lives. But here's the biggest thing about Angel Studios. They have this thing called the Guild. And the cool thing about the Guild and why everyone should join it, not only to support Angel Studios and what they're doing, but by joining the Guild, you'll not only, as the viewer, get to see a particular film that you want to see immediately, you even get free tickets to go to the theater, but you get the opportunity to vote on what movies get made by Angel Studios. That's right. You, as the Guild member for Angel Studios, you get to vote on what movies actually get made by Angel Studios. A better way to put it is you, as the customer, have the power over the content that's getting made for you and your family. I can't see it because I'm remote right now, but the link is going to pop up on the screen right now. And I ask every single one of you to go there right this second, become a member of the Guild at Angel Studios, and help them continue to make not only godly content, but also wholesome content for you and your family. I can't see it, so I'm trusting that Royce has it up on the screen
It
right
is up.
now.
It is up.
There
it
you
is
go.
up.
Make make sure you click the link. Can y'all read it out? Because I can't see it. Can you read out what the link is?
Angel.com/Graham Hope.
Yeah.
There it is.
There it is.
Angel.com/Graham Hope. And the hope is obviously the sound of hope for the new movie that is out. It's an amazing opportunity. Please go join the guild right now and help Angel Studios continue to make amazing content.
I'm a guild member, and I will say another benefit of being a guild member is you get access to all the movies and shows like way before they come out. So
yes,
it's really cool. I've been a
and
guild
if you
member
want to
for a
go
while.
see it, and if you want to go see it in theaters, they give you free tickets to go see
Yes,
it in the
it's
theaters
awesome.
as well. Yeah, so it's a really good benefit. You're helping an amazing organization, so go check them out. All right. If you're ready for us to get into the show, comment yes in the chat, and let's do it. Royce, hit us with it. What's the first thing?
Not a very exciting one.
Oh, I quit.
So
The artist formerly known as Dylan Mulvaney.
Dude, I thought he was gone. Like, I thought he left and went to, like, a country that said that transgenders were crazy. Like, man.
All right. Royce, what are we watching here before you hit play?
Apparently, this is Dylan Mulvaney singing a song called Man Up, speaking about Jesus Christ.
Wait, that's a Mormon song.
Let's take a listen, shall we?
Okay, do it.
With his own death, Jesus knew that he had to man up. He had to man up. So he crawled up on that cross and he stuck it out. He manned up. Christ, he manned up. And he taught us all what real manning up is about. Cue testosterone. And now it's up to me and it's time to man up. Jesus had his time, so now it's fine to man up. I'm taking the reins, I'm crossing the bear. Just like Jesus, I'm growing up hair. I've got to stand up, can't just clam up. It's time to man up. 'Cause there's a time in your life when you know you got to man up. Don't let it pass you by, there's just one time to man up. Watch me man up like nobody else. I'm gonna man up all over myself. I've got to get ready. It's time to. What did Jesus do when they put nails through his hands? Did he scream like a girl or did he take it like a man? When someone had to die to save us from our sins, Jesus said, I'll do it, and he took it on the chin.
Can you please stop it? Can you please? See, I hate everyone. I hate everything.
Oh,
I have
over?
nothing.
Okay, cool.
I have nothing to add except
good old noise cancellation.
As JD Vance would say, Christ have mercy. That's all I know to say over that blasphemous, demonic, holy Lord situation that we just witnessed. Comment in the chat what you think. I have nothing.
You know, there are times
and
in
nothing to
life
say.
where I know that I'm not perfect, and I know that I sin just like any other person. But there are times in life, and this is one of those moments where I wasn't alive to witness the Old Testament raining fire from heaven God, but man, I wish he'd show up just a couple times. You know, just imagine, man up.
Hey, don't get mad at me. You can get mad at Royce for that one. Royce put that in the show.
Yeah.
All right, next, let's move on. Dear Lord. Okay, all right. Logan Paul actually does something very nice. So I have asked everyone to tag him in Twitter to unblock me because I was actually trying to give him props for this. Logan Paul and KSI sent truckloads of Prime to the victims of the hurricane. I thought this was a stand-up move, so go for it.
Logan, KSI, all the guys at Prime. I do not know how you got this up here so fast, but thank you guys. I called yesterday, and you guys have an entire truckload of Prime delivered into one of the hardest to reach areas in North Carolina. This is huge. Something up here to drink is everything to these guys that are working. So I just want to personally thank you for getting this up here to us. Logan, KS.
Yes. All right. Somebody just donated $10 and said Graham for the damages to the hotel. I just broke the leg of this desk for sure. That's definitely broken.
Just get out of there really quick.
No, like I felt the whole thing move. It's definitely broke. Hang on, I got it. Oh my gosh, you don't believe me? Look, this is. You see it?
Oh
You
my
see it?
God.
God.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pay for that.
We're keeping it real. Go well, not
If any of you want to donate to help Graham pay for the broken Trump desk fund, that would be much appreciated. Anyway,
Oh
shout
yeah,
out
and we
to
have it on evidence too. Like Royce,
yeah,
you need to make sure you post that.
shout out to Logan Paul and KSI for doing amazing things to help out the victims in the hurricane. And so I just said, Royce, you suck in all caps for that video.
Yeah, I'm seeing like Royce, you're banned.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, you're banned.
I like the Graham. To me, it was like that when you got there.
Yeah.
it,
For all I know, prove it wasn't that way before I got here. Anyway, all right. Shout out to Logan Paul for doing an amazing thing there. We've had our differences. Obviously, I don't block people. Logan Paul blocked me. I don't really know why, but he did. And so, anyway, I was trying to give him some props. But all right. Uh, I said Graham needs a GoFundMe for hotel damages. All right. How about we get into the next thing? Royce, what's next? I don't even know where
well,
we're
let's
at. You
do
got to tell
Patriot
me.
Mobile really quick, and then we're going to get into
Ah,
all the Iran stuff.
yes. Oh, Iran. Before the presidential or the vice presidential debate, everything happened with Iran. But first, let's talk about a Christian organization to
Thank you. We
cleanse
need it.
our souls of what we just saw. Why don't you support a Christian organization by going to patriotmobile.com/Graham? Promo code Graham is going to get you a free month. Patriot Mobile is not only a Christian organization that cares about the values that you care about, they have this amazing Patriot Mobile One technology with dual towers. See, it says Patriot and America. If you go somewhere and AT&T is not working too great, well, you can switch over to Verizon. Verizon's having a lot of problems right now, so you can switch over to AT&T as well. And they also have partnered with Unplugged for the Up phone, where you can have your privacy and still actually be able to make phone calls. Switching is easy. It's an amazing organization. What are you waiting for? Go to patriotmobile.com/Graham. Promo code Graham is going to get you a free month when you activate today. So go to patriotmobile.com/Graham. That's patriotmobile.com/Graham. Promo code Graham. All right. So yesterday, Iran, although they failed, made a huge escalation in the way I would see it. I don't think it's avoidable war
No.
that will eventually happen with Israel. Iran sent ballistic missiles, not drone attacks, not anything. They sent missiles. Now, thankfully, Todd, what was the update on how horrible of a job they did?
Yeah, so like nobody, the only people that were killed, there was actually a shooting before this happened that killed like 8 or 9 people. There was a terrorist that came out and did like a mass shooting there. But as far as the missiles concerned, only one person was killed, and you can Google this video. It's awesome.
Dude,
A fuselage from one of the missiles like fell out of the sky and killed a Hamas terrorist that was walking down the road in Palestine. Is great video.
yeah. Well, first of all, let's not discount just because the Iron Dome did its job and just because Iran sucks at shooting missiles. I don't want this to get lost. I don't want us to do what the mainstream media does. Oh, well, the shooter didn't actually shoot Trump this time, so it's not a big deal. No, this is a major escalation. Iran directly shooting missiles
Yeah, and
into Israel.
a bunch of them landed, but it hit a base, an IDF base that was already evacuated. So
Yeah,
I think one 22-year-old IDF soldier was killed. Let me retract. I think one person was killed in the attack.
and again, that's a big deal, and that's a big escalation. We've got another video that actually shows the firepower they were sending a little bit better. I think the next video is the one I want us to see the most.
No, that was
Don't
this one. I don't want to show it hitting the ground because it's
Okay, all right.
That'll get us taken down.
All right.
Active war stuff.
Active war stuff. God forbid we talk about what's actually going on in the world. God, I hate social media. Why do we have a business that relies on social media? I can't stand it. Either way, this will be a major thing to pay attention to as we move forward. What does Israel do in retaliation?
Well, Netanyahu's done come out and said Iran's going to pay for that. So,
Well, yeah, I mean, again, and yes, I see the things. We do realize Israel got hammered. Absolutely, I'm not saying that. We're talking about actual casualties in the mainstream of it. Everything that's being reported right now is there weren't a lot, and so thank the Lord for that. But even if there's not, and even if there were, I still think this leads to a massive retaliation from Israel, which is going to lead to a massive retaliation back, which is going to lead to a massive retaliation back. And then eventually, I don't see any way that this doesn't lead to
no,
war.
and you know what? I said this yesterday, and I mean what I say. Like, put a Walmart in the center of Iran and turn the rest of it into a parking lot. Like, I
Yes,
mean, just call it a day.
I agree. But let's move on. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We're already 20-something minutes into the show because of the demonic presence that Royce has allowed into the atmosphere of
What are
this
you
show.
talking about, man?
Everyone's still mad
I
at
just
you.
I just thought it was a good clip for you to react to. I thought
Well,
it was something
You
for your
got
reaction.
a reaction, buddy.
Well, you got a
one.
reaction.
There we
buddy.
go. Perfect. That's what I
All
wanted.
right, let's move on. So let's go.
Do you want to move on to the debate stuff?
Yep, let's get into it. All right, this is where we remind you to hit the like button, hit the share button. It's time to get into why you are here. And that is to talk about the debate last night. So we're going to start off with just debate clips, some good debate stuff from the night. We're going to talk about it. We'll move kind of quickly because I really want to get into the aftermath because the left mainstream media, their reactions is everything. But let's get into the night. So before we play anything, I want to say, again, I'm only 38, so I've only seen so many vice presidential debates. But from everyone that I've spoken to that's much older than me, everything that I have to say to you guys, this was and is considered the greatest vice presidential debate, possibly the greatest debate in a presidential
But I think
era
that's something that Governor
Sorry.
of all time. And so it's so good. Royce can't even wait for us to
To
get to
play
it.
the clips.
So let's just play the clip and let's go for it.
word, but I think that's something that Governor Walz just said is quite extraordinary. You yourself just said Iran is as close to a nuclear weapon today as they have ever been. And Governor Walz, you blame Donald Trump. Who has been the vice president for the last 3.5 years? And the answer is your running mate, not mine. Donald Trump consistently made the world more secure. Now, we talk about what the sequence of events that led us to where we are right now, and you can't ignore October the 7th, which I appreciate Governor Walz bringing up. But when did Iran and Hamas and their proxies attack Israel? It was during the administration of Kamala Harris. So Governor Walz can criticize Donald Trump's tweets, but effective, smart diplomacy.
Back just ever so slightly. Right there. It is at this moment that Tim Walz knew I am in serious, serious trouble. Can we zoom in on his face just a little bit?
He's like, oh my God.
That is not a good look that you want to have. And as we go through these clips, I want you to pay attention to, I talk about this all the time, optics. Optics are huge in politics. Even if you're getting your head smashed in, you want to be looking straight at the camera, or if you're looking at your opponent, you want it to be with a look of like, are you a freaking moron?
Yes,
like that's
soul snatching look.
That's what you want it to be. This is, holy Lord, I'm in trouble. That is what that is.
I have just kicked the hornet's nest.
You just walked into your wife with more than one other man. Like, this is what that looks is right there. That is what that look is. That is a look of my life is over across the board. That is the look of my son just told me he wants to star in Glee the musical. That's what that is right there. This is some trouble. This is some bad news, and it doesn't get any better throughout the night. So let's keep going. Let's move on here. All right, so what was this? Oh, okay.
This is
So
on
this
Iran.
this is in response to what just happened here. The whole world wants to know, would you support Israel attacking Iran? Would you support a response and this and that? Let's just listen to what they have to say here.
Fundamental here is that steady leadership is going to matter. It's clear, and the world saw it on that debate stage a few weeks ago. A nearly 80-year-old Donald Trump talking about crowd sizes is not what we need in this moment. But it's not just that. It's those that were closest to Donald Trump that understand how dangerous he is when the world is this dangerous. His chief of staff, John Kelly, said that he was the most flawed human being he'd ever met. And both of his secretaries of defense and his national security advisors said he should be nowhere near the White House. Now, the person closest to them, Donald Trump, said he's unfit for the highest office. That was Senator Vance. What we've seen out of Vice President Harris is we've seen steady leadership. We've seen a calmness that is able to draw on the coalitions to bring them together, understanding that our allies matter. When our allies see Donald Trump turn towards Vladimir Putin, turn towards North Korea, when we start to see that type of fickleness around holding the coalitions together, we will stay committed. And as the vice president said today we will protect our forces and our allied forces, and there will be consequences.
All right, so I want to pick apart that a little bit, if I may fact check it for a moment. So he's not lying when he says that that's what people said. People did say that. But Donald Trump, sorry, I'm looking for a charger here. Donald Trump said that he made a lot of mistakes in the people that he allowed in his cabinet the first time. I believe that even I have criticized the president a lot on his initial picks of who he allows into his circle. I will say that Donald Trump made a lot of mistakes in listening to people on who he should take in, who he shouldn't, who he should allow to be, and who he should not. So all of these people that are saying that Donald Trump isn't fit for office and blah, 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 they're only saying that because they no longer have a job and they're being kicked to the curb because they're rhino incompetent losers across the bat that I have been screaming from the rooftops for a very long time that they shouldn't be there in the first place. So good riddance to them. We don't need them. Let's move on. But the biggest insult to injury is him saying that you've seen steady leadership from Kamala Harris. Here's the thing. Here is the double negative that they're trying to put together. Tim Walz is saying you've seen steady leadership from Kamala Harris during this entire thing. She's led with grace. She's led with power. She's led with authority. But then J.D. Vance is like, okay, well, then why hasn't she done anything to fix anything that she's saying she's going to fix when she's elected president? And they're like, well, she wasn't the president. She's the vice president. So has she shown good leadership? Because you're saying that she's led with power and authority, but then when we hit you with what she hasn't done, you're like, well, she wasn't the president. She was the vice president. Which is it? Did she not do anything because she was the vice president? Or has she led with power and authority the entire time? This is what's going to be picked apart throughout the debate. Go ahead, Todd.
Yeah. Okay. So I can point to two things that she has done, and that's been involved in 13 dead members of the military and Abbey Gate during the Afghanistan withdrawal. And you've got somebody that in the middle of the debate that is running to be the commander in chief literally has no idea where her people is because she said there are no active duty militaries serving in a war zone right now. So, like, I'm sorry. That's strike 2, 3, 4, and 12. No, out of here.
What's surprising to me is that's one thing that they did not bring up. And so if I'm not just being a total panderer to the Trump side and I'm calling balls and strikes, that's the one thing that I am kind of shocked that JD didn't make sure that he brought up. And the only thing that I can give him for is he performed so well. The truth is he didn't need it. But I am shocked that didn't get asked about at all. That wasn't brought up at all. And so, anyway, that was the only interesting part for me. But let's go ahead and get in our last sponsor, and then because we've got a lot of stuff to cover for this debate, and that's our friends over at Birch Gold. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, the economy is in shambles. The world is in shambles. Who knows what's going on with the seaports coming up? Your money is taking a hit, and it is worth less today than it has been ever. So we ask you to text the word Graham, that's Graham, to 989898 right now. My friends at Birch Gold are going to send you a free 25-page information kit on how gold, silver, and precious metals can help protect your money in not only an unstable economy, but an unstable nation and an unstable world. Free information is vital information, so we're asking you to please text the word Graham, that's Graham, to 989898 right now. All right, let's get back into the Thunderdome, and let's get back into clips from last night, and we're going to dissect them as well. Let's go. Hit that like button, hit that share button. Let's do it. All right, so this is Tim Walz saying that Iran is closer to a nuclear weapon because of Donald Trump. And then I believe that was me tweeting that. I was like, I'm pretty sure that Biden is the one that gave billions of dollars to Iran. But this is Tim Walz lying and nobody doing anything about it. So here we go.
Look, Donald Trump was in office. We'll sometimes hear a revisionist history, but when Donald Trump was in office, it was Donald Trump who we had a coalition of nations that had boxed Iran's nuclear program in, the inability to advance it. Donald Trump pulled that program and put nothing else in its place. So Iran is closer to a nuclear weapon than they were before because of Donald Trump's fickle leadership. And when Iran shot down an American aircraft in international airspace, Donald Trump tweeted, because that's the standard diplomacy of Donald Trump. And when Iranian missiles did fall near U.S. troops and they received traumatic brain injuries, Donald Trump wrote it off as headaches. Look, our allies understand that Donald Trump is fickle. He will go to whoever has the most flattery or where it makes sense to him. Steady leadership like you witnessed today, like you witnessed in April. Both Iranian attacks were repelled. Our coalition is strong, and we need the steady leadership that Kamala Harris is providing.
Okay, again, there it is. One, what leadership? Two, Tim Walz is again saying we need the steady leadership that Kamala Harris is providing. So she's either responsible for the past 3.5 years because she's the leadership providing it, or she's not. Which one is it? And also, Donald Trump's the one that killed al-Baghdadi, and they said he was going to start World War III and all of this other kind of stuff. What is Tim Walz talking about?
Yeah,
Donald
and
Trump,
don't forget about Soleimani. Like, he smoked an Iranian general in Baghdad, and Congress hammered him for it.
Dude,
like,
this is the same president who literally had a
Governor
picture
Walz, he
of the
blamed
terrorist.
Donald Trump, who has been.
I don't know why they keep playing. I'm sorry.
This is the same president, Donald Trump, who in a negotiation meeting showed a picture of the guy's house and was like, hey, I will level your entire family if you don't act right. Like, I mean, what are you talking about? All right. Again, this is everything that we're saying right here. So the left will say Kamala Harris has been the vice president. And because she's the vice president, it's not her fault. Tim Walz is saying that you need the leadership that Kamala Harris has been given. Like that is what we need. We need more of Kamala Harris leading. This is J.D. Vance saying, okay, well, if you're going to pull that card, what's been the problem the past 3.5 years? Play it.
And Governor Walz, you blame Donald Trump. Who has been the vice president for the last 3.5 years? And the answer is your running mate, not mine. Donald Trump consistently made the world more secure. And
all right, that's the point, and that's the drive home point. Tim Walz keeps saying, Kamala Harris, we need Kamala Harris leadership like we've had the past. We need more of it. We need more Kamala Harris leadership. So Tim Walz is directly tying her to what's going on right now. So J.D. Vance is doing an amazing job of saying, okay, if you want to play that game, then why is everything so bad? If she's been in charge, why is everything so bad? And then here he goes on even further. If she's got such great plans, why isn't she doing it right now? All right, go.
I'll give you 2 minutes.
Well, first of all, you're going to hear a lot from Tim Walz this evening, and you just heard it in the answer, a lot of what Kamala Harris proposes to do. And some of it, I'll be honest with you, it even sounds pretty good. Here's what you won't hear, is that Kamala Harris has already done it. Because she's been the vice president for 3.5 years. She had the opportunity to enact all of these great policies. And what she's actually done instead is drive the cost of food higher by 25%, drive the cost of housing higher by about 60%, open the American southern border, and make middle-class life unaffordable for a large number of Americans. If Kamala Harris has such great plans for how to address middle-class problems, then she ought to do them now. Not when asking for a promotion, but in the job the American people gave her 3.5 years ago. And the fact that she...
That's it. I'll give you 2 minutes.
That was it. She ought to do it now, not when she's asking for a promotion. That is the key. And Tim Walz had no defense for that. It was like that the entire night. There was never a moment where Tim Walz recovered. The biggest thing that they did ask Tim Walz was this discrepancy of him saying that he had been to China and he had seen all these things. When reports come in, it's like, no, you were never there. Like, what are you talking about? You're lying again. So they didn't ask him about the military service abandoning his unit stuff. They did ask him about this. And you'll notice that we have the clip at 2 minutes and 21 seconds of 2 minutes and 47 seconds. The reason why, when they ask him about this lie, he gives 2 minutes and 21 seconds of something that doesn't make any sense. In fact, I'm pretty sure that he started the question off with, Governor Walz, why did you lie about your whereabouts in China? And he responded with, I come from a middle-class family. Like literally how it started. 2 minutes and 21 seconds of total nonsense. And then at this mark, they say, well, again, the question was this, and then watch his complete collapse. Play it.
Governor, just to follow up on that, the question was, can you explain the discrepancy?
All I said on this was I got there that summer and misspoke on this. So I will just...
Boy, he does that.
That's what I've said. So I was in Hong Kong and China during the democracy.
I misspoke. I'm a knucklehead. I'm a knucklehead.
So a lie is now just simply misspeaking for the Dems. A bold-faced lie is, I misspoke. If I got caught cheating on Alyssa, like you told me you were working, you were on a beach with 3 bikini models. Why did you?
Misspoke.
Oh, I misspoke.
I'm a knucklehead.
Look, I'm a knucklehead at times, kind of thing. All right, and then he literally says this. He says this clip while talking about lying about his whereabouts. Play the clip.
I tried to do the best I can, but I've not been perfect, and I'm a knucklehead at times. But it's always been about that.
I'm a knucklehead.
I'm a knucklehead at times. This is the Elmer Fudd version, but with the second he said that, it reminded me of this Alex Jones clip, and we got to play it. Tim Jones, I'm a knucklehead at times. Here's Alex Jones' version of it. Play it.
Look, here's the thing.
Fine. Listen,
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded. Look.
As soon as you play that, it makes me go, you went full retard.
Oh,
Never
man.
go full retard.
So Tim Walz just played the Magoo version of Alex Jones. Look, hey, I got to be honest. I'm kind of retarded. Like that. That's Tim Walz did the exact same thing on live TV. He just did the Magoo version of that. All right, let's keep going. We got more stuff to do here. All right, this arguably was the best moment of the night for J.D. Vance.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was.
J.D. Vance, and then Tucker Carlson, we'll have Tucker Carlson's thoughts on this in a moment. J.D. Vance does what I wish President Trump would have done in the presidential debate. He does not allow them to get away with a blatant lie of a fact check. And he just goes full court press on this, and I think it was beautiful. They even had to cut his mic off because he was just destroying them. All right, play it.
But
Thank you, Senator. We have so much to get to.
Margaret, I think it's important because
we're going to turn now to the economy. Thank
Margaret,
you.
The rules were that you guys weren't going to fact check. And since you're fact checking me, I think it's important to say what's actually going on. So there's an application called the CBP One app where you can go on as an illegal migrant, apply for asylum or apply for parole, and be granted legal status at the wave of a Kamala Harris open border wand. That is not a person coming in, applying for a green card and waiting for 10 years. That is the facilitation of illegal immigration, Margaret, by our own leadership.
Thank you, Senator, for describing the legal process. We have so much to get to, Senator.
Those laws,
Nora.
But
all right. So there you go. So, and then later on in the clip, they actually turn their mics off and they go, "We
Yeah.
know that you're very passionate about explaining the legal process." Insufferable human beings.
Yeah,
I
and
kept
I like
saying,
Waltz's response there. He said, and by the way, those laws have been in place since the 90s. And like everybody looked at him and was like, the app?
yeah,
90s?
yeah.
Really?
Tim Walz is like, that's been in place since the 90s. The app, you
The app
moron.
has? Okay.
Oh
All
my
right.
gosh. Anyway, all right. So this is Tim Walz with the slip up of the night. And again, to be fair, this was obviously a misspeak he misspoke here.
Again.
I think he wanted to say, I think what he was trying to say, because he was talking about mental health, I think what he was trying to say is I've gotten to know like the shooters' families, maybe. Like, I don't know. But he comes out saying, I've become friends with school shooters.
Yeah.
Just play the clip.
That office with those Sandy Hook parents. I've become friends with school shooters. I've seen it. Look, the NRA, I was an NRA guy for a long time. They used to teach gun safety. I'm of an age where.
Just so you know, in the war room last night, the second he said that, everyone at the same time had an exorcist like turn our heads at the same. Did he just say he's friends with school shooters? And again, this is politics. You can't have moments like that. You can't have that kind of slip up. I look, in spite of all the shootings, I've become friends with school shooters. Like I know this. And then here is someone confronting Tim Walz, and this is another difference. After the debate, J.D. Vance, just like President Trump, went into the spin room and he talked for another 2 hours. Within 20 minutes, Tim Walz was at a pizza shop getting something to eat. Play the clip. This is where they confront him about what he said. Watch this.
So what do you think your strongest moment was tonight?
Oh, just, I think it was a good debate. The public got to see a contrast. And I think the ending sums it up. The democracy issues important.
Governor, you said you become friends with school shooters during the debate. Can you clarify what you meant on that?
Completely ignores that one.
Yeah, I'm like,
And first of all, pause. Go back to the end. Go back to the end. This is how fake they are. Who has to study pizza this hard on what you want to eat? Like, look.
He's looking at a pepperoni pizza. There's not much going on there.
I wonder what's on that. Cheese, pepperoni, bread.
Pizza's like ice cream. You like what you like. Okay, like there's very few people in this world that get like different ice cream every single time they go into an ice cream thing. You got like your top 3 that you go to. Your go-tos. If they're out of number 1, you go number 2. Like, you know what I'm saying? Pizza is like that. What are we studying here?
Yeah.
This is not normal human behavior.
I'm really surprised the wife didn't turn around and go, turn the page.
Turn the page.
Turn the page.
All right. And of course, President Trump, being the savage that he is, wasted no time. Trump Vance 2024. Not friends with school shooters.
It is genius.
Absolute savagery in this regard. All right, let's keep moving. We got more stuff to talk about here. Oh, okay. This is in regards of gun violence. Again, Tim Walz has the worst moment of the night when he says sometimes it's just the guns. You can't make this up. Play it.
And I think what we end up doing is we start looking for a scapegoat. Sometimes it just is the guns. It's just the guns. And there are things that you can do about it.
So they're talking about school shootings and mass shootings, and they're saying sometimes we look for a scapegoat. So it can't possibly be mentally unstable transgenders that are shooting up here. It can't be that. It's the inanimate object that does not work unless you load it, pull back the charging handle, pull the put it from safe to semi, and you pull the trigger. Like it can't possibly be the person that does that. It has to be the inanimate object. Todd, you had something you wanted to say about that.
Yeah, I mean, like literally, it's 2 things, and Graham, I don't know if you're old enough to. I don't think this happened when you were in high school, but literally, when I was in high school during hunting season,
hunting rifles in the back.
Dude, we would have. You'd go out in the parking lot. There'd be 50 rifles hanging up in the trucks.
They would have dead deer in the back of the truck.
Yeah, we would have the deer in the back of the truck. But I could put a gun on this wall right now. And if I don't touch it, it's just going to sit there and collect dust. It's like, I mean, it's the same thing with drugs. I could put a massive crack rock right here, but unless I sniff it, nothing's going to happen.
I will meet Tim Walz and the Democrats halfway here. Okay, I will extend an olive branch. If I ever see a gun floating down the street, killing people at random, I too will then call for maybe we should do something about these guns. Like maybe we should do something about this.
Mm-hmm.
But until I see guns floating down the street just taking out everybody because they don't like the way somebody looks, I can't get on board. If that ever happens, and and Skynet becomes real, and they put AI in firearms, and they start floating down the street and all this stuff, sure. But until then, you're a moron, and we have things to.
Well, I mean that might actually become reality. Have you guys seen those robo dogs that they're putting guns on now?
Yeah,
there's these robotic dogs, and they're putting automatic machine guns on top of them.
Because the second
that's a scenario where it's the machine, man.
Yeah, the second AI figures that out, we're all gonna die.
We're toast.
All right,
we're cooked.
all right. Next, let's keep going here. Hit that like button, hit that share button. Let's go. All right. Oh, this is a moment that JD Vance took, and again, first of all, last night the world found out Tim Walz was a Catholic. Nobody knew
for real
this in any way. He starts talking about mass and all this other kind of stuff. And anyway, he starts telling his story about his son being a part of being in a crowd where a mass shooter I don't know if that story is true or not. I have no idea. JD Vance even was like, this is the first time I've heard of this. But JD's response is something that absolutely destroyed Tim Walz. Tim Walz was trying to become personable by telling his story, and JD's response to it made JD the winner of this exchange. Just watch.
I think all the parents watching tonight, this is your biggest nightmare. Look, I got a 17-year-old, and he witnessed a shooting at a community center playing volleyball. Those things don't leave you. As a member of Congress, I sat in my office surrounded by dozens of the San Diego parents, and they were looking at my 7-year-old picture on the wall. Their 7-year-old were dead, and they were asking us to do something. And look, I'm a hunter. I own firearms. The vice president is. We understand that the Second Amendment is there, but our first responsibility is to our kids to figure this out.
Senator.
Tim, first of all, I didn't know that your 17-year-old witnessed a shooting, and I'm sorry about that, and I hope that he's doing okay. Christ have mercy. It is awful.
I think all the parents watching.
There it is, right there. With that moment, I mean, I think I tweeted, JD just Christ have mercied Tim Walz on live TV. That exchange just, like JD eliminated Walz's leverage in that point he was trying to make. Like the second he did that. This is Catholic Vote talking about it right here. The thing that Tim Walz does is he's invoking his faith in this one to justify the murdering of children in the womb, which is absolutely a despicable plan.
I don't talk about my faith a lot, but Matthew 25:40 talks about, to the least amongst us, you do unto me. I think that's true of most Americans. They simply want order to it. This bill does it. It's funded. It's supported by the people who do it. And it lets us keep our dignity about how we treat other people.
Pause.
I don't talk about my...
He's using scripture to try to justify why we should allow women to murder children. That's what he's doing. I don't talk about my faith a lot because you don't have any. But the Bible says that we should allow women to murder children. That's what he's saying in that. Yes, Todd.
I don't think that was in response to abortion. I think that was in response to the border, like letting people.
It was no.
Was it?
No,
okay.
It was 100% during the abortion topic because I literally wrote he just used scripture to justify murdering babies in the womb. See, even Catholic, it's talking about.
I mean, I thought that because I figured no way somebody was dumb enough to quote scripture and talk abortion.
Hold on. Let me go back in my Twitter post that I did, all thousands of them last night.
Yeah.
And let me look. Y'all go to the next one. I want to verify. Here, hang on.
Well, that's this Catholic Vote video.
Yeah, no. I want to go when I tweeted that he just used scripture. I just want to make sure I'm not crazy here. Y'all go to the next one. Hang on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we have this, which is just entertaining. We can watch this for a second.
The people
play that.
to make sure that I get this right. I will say more than anything. Many times I will talk a lot. I will get caught up in the rhetoric. But being there, the impact it made, the difference it made in my life, I learned a lot about China. I hear the critiques of this. I would make the case that Donald Trump should have come on one of those trips with us. I guarantee you he wouldn't be praising Xi Jinping about COVID. And I guarantee you he wouldn't start a trade war that he ends up losing. So this is about trying to understand the world. It's about trying to do the best you can for your community. And then it's putting yourself out there and letting your folks understand what it is.
I mean, he basically did debate a cartoon character, though.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, right? I mean, or fictional. He's like Uncle Fester, right?
He really had his face was like animated the whole night. It's like
this photo kind of sums up exactly how the debate went.
Exactly. Like deer in headlights look right there. Like my medication just wore off. Oh my God, what am I gonna do? Like, I mean, that's horrible.
Yeah, the dude's pooping his pants in that moment,
for
actually,
sure.
right there.
My
He's
Chris
like,
Farley
crap.
excitement meds just worn off. What
Plus,
am
I don't know. I just love this. Speaking of cartoon characters,
that's perfect.
I think this relates. That's all, folks. What a great night. You know, what an ending to a great night. That's all, folks.
Yeah, for real. But I mean, the question for me is like, even I agree with everybody when they say that Vance just destroyed Walz. But do you think that's going to move the needle?
Well, I mean, we're gonna get into later, but like the poly market polling on like the I want to say it's the favorability or whatever of the candidate, dude. Vance like it's skyrocketing and Walz crashing, like straight needle down.
I knew it. Here it is right here. And Catholic Vote even did it. I don't talk about my faith a lot, but Matthew 25:40 talks about to the least among us, you do unto me. Tim Walz supports killing children in the womb. I'm telling you, he brought that up during the abortion topic of it all. That's why it was so shocking, because that's when he brought up the first remnants that he has faith at all, was they were talking about abortion. All right, let's move on. Let's keep going. Sorry, I had to check out that. I want to make sure I was right, but I'm pretty sure that I'm right. Catholic Vote brought it up too. The Matthew 25:40 quote was in response to abortion. Keep moving. Let's go.
Well, he's even a bigger idiot then.
Well,
all right, let's go.
Now we're moving on to the media reaction.
All right, I got a hard out in 6 minutes. I got to catch a plane. So let's get into some of the media reactions. And then, Todd, you're going to have to close it. All right, this is the worst that it can get. They're literally talking about he was unprepared or he was overprepared. Who knows? It was bad. Play it.
I think there was a clear lack of preparation and execution here on Walz's part.
I think actually it's the opposite. I think he had too much preparation.
Maybe, yeah.
He had so many lines that he was clearly trying to say that he didn't listen and said when J.D. Vance said one of the many things he really hit Kamala Harris on, not Tim Walz, but Kamala Harris, he didn't respond because he clearly had things in his mind. I think the lack of interviews that he has done with national media, with local media, it showed. He needed more reps.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, J.D. Vance is much more experienced at
that. I mean,
look at his face. Look at her face during that.
J.D. is much more experienced. Yes, we know.
Yeah, we know.
It showed.
Apparently not debating ever, not answering questions ever is a bad look. And I see people's comments. I'm going to go back and I'm going to watch the segment because I'm pretty sure that I'm right about this.
They're still talking about that?
Yeah, people are still talking about that.
I wasn't arguing. I was just asking a question.
Either way.
Quick, has Walz done any other interview besides the one with Kamala?
Not with, except for CNN. That was it.
Pre-filmed stuff. Anyway,
so
okay.
The only thing he's done is talked with Kamala. That's it.
Correct. That's it.
Holy cow, man.
And they
bought her some Doritos.
And they wonder why he did so bad. All right.
White people tacos.
This is Dana Bash saying that she was hearing from Democrats about his answer over his history of embellishing things. That's a fun way of saying lying about things. Hit play.
this about Governor Walz now. He has a history of embellishing. He was asked about it by the We're not going to toss to the town. Okay. Anyway, and he kind of fumbled around about it. What did you think?
Well, first of all, that was our K-File reporting, I believe, that first reported this. What I think isn't as relevant as what I was hearing from Democrats who were kind of doing it, whatever you do to cringe over a text. They were not thrilled about that answer.
It was very cringy. I mean, and he should have known that it was coming.
You know this about Governor Walz
Very
now.
cringy.
Very cringy.
That's the same girl that said tonight you're going to see big dad energy versus hillbilly elegy. That's the same girl that said that before.
That's cringy.
Yeah. So talk about
God.
cringy. Here's Scott Jennings on CNN, absolutely mopping the floor. Just play it. It's beautiful.
He's becoming my favorite.
Vance outclassed Walz tonight. I mean, I was watching this, and all I could think of was, man, Walz is so. And this guy sitting in the White House Situation Room with that facial expression that's like 50% sheer terror and 50% extreme bafflement. I mean, it was amazing, the split screen difference between a competent Vance and a totally in over his head Walz. The answer on why he lied about his trips to China and the Tiananmen Square thing was probably the worst VP debate meltdown since Stockdale in 92. You know, who am I and why am I here? It was 2.5 minutes of absolute terrible. For Vance, night of redemption. All the political media has told us that Vance was a terrible pick and Walz was going to bring in all these voters. That charade is now over. Walz does not belong at this level of American politics. Vance does. Final verdict, Tim Walz wandered into the wrong bar tonight. It's pretty clear.
He wandered into the wrong bar. I love that.
All right. So
Vance has
This
told us.
chick's face, wait, where is she at? She's about ready to kill him.
Like, dude, I would stab you in the face if this camera wasn't on right now.
That is.
She's
Karen
plotting.
Ultra is what that is. That's Karen Ultra Light is what that is across the board. All right, look. There's a lot more to talk about, but ladies and gentlemen, you guys know I'm in New York. I have to go catch a flight. But here's what I want to say in closing, really quick from me. All right. First, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit the share button so more people see this. But what I will say is this. J.D. Vance not only won the debate, I think he set up himself for 2028. And I think Tim Walz just lost Kamala Harris the election. In fact, J.D. Vance did so well. And you'll see later on they're going to talk about Walz agreeing with J.D. Vance so much. I'm almost not 100% sure that Tim Walz isn't going to vote for Trump and Vance at the election day. How good he did. You witnessed an absolute masterclass that I think will be studied by future candidates moving forward. I cannot describe how well he did. That's my opinion. In fact, I'm seeing some reports that Kamala has dropped 4 points since the vice presidential debate. I got to verify those, but those are initial things that I'm seeing. You'll see later on, Vance got the highest rated VP performance in history by a CNN poll, I believe it was. It's either CNN or MSNBC, one of the two. Anyway, make sure to hit that like button. CNN, there you go. Make sure to hit the like button. Make sure to hit the share button. Todd, you've got it. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a bumpy flight ahead, apparently. So I'm super pumped about that. So say a prayer for your guy here as we fly home, and we'll see you guys tomorrow morning. You guys got it. I got to get out of here.
Later, bud.
See you, man.
Godspeed. And I hope it's a rocky
And there were
flight.
two.
Okay. All right, next.
You hope for that?
Oh yeah.
All right. This is just another great thing from Scott Jennings.
I'm really beginning to like this guy.
I know, me too. He really is good.
Like, really, him and Jesse Water, like, I'm really liking this guy.
Yeah,
right,
I could totally see him having his own show in the future.
Yeah, for
right
sure.
Now,
I don't see CNN.
Right now, CNN, he's doing some
CNN.
good work over there.
Choice Trump made and what an inspired choice Harris made. And now the veil is off. The charade is over. And I think it calls into question.
That is.
I mean, she's got to staff the whole government. This was her first choice.
No, I mean,
people are evaluating.
Well, I mean, let's be honest, though. I mean, as far as staff choosing, she can't do any worse than Biden. I mean, you got a bald-headed transgender dude that likes to steal luggage. You got somebody in the Navy that thinks she's a man. I mean, you really can't. I guess you could. I guess you could get worse, but
I forget who I saw shared. I think Elon actually shared the meme, but basically it was a meme of Obama saying, "I gotta find a VP that's dumber than me." And then
Trump shared it too.
Oh yeah, maybe that's who I
Trump
saw.
shared it too.
And then it was Biden saying, "I got to find a VP that's dumber than me," and then Kamala, and now we're at Tim Walz, who's obviously dumber than Kamala.
Well, I thought it was funny, like at the beginning of the night when he was talking about his progression, and he's like, and I'm from Nebraska, I'm a Nebraska kid, and they loved me enough to vote for me, and blah 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 blah. I'm like, dude, yeah, and your whole family's wearing like Trump shirts right now in Nebraska.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I'd have said that like at all.
His family does not, and actually, I don't think I've seen anything about him coming out. They should have asked him about that. Actually, that would have been a great question.
There was a lot of meat left on the bone when that debate was over.
And
like,
they said we're not going to get another one.
Yeah, I know. Nobody brought up the oversight committee, CCP allegations. Nobody brought up his military record. I mean, hey,
softball.
Yeah. All right.
But this is Byron kind of just swinging the hammer.
Yeah. I love Byron.
Reactions.
First, JD kept the pressure on all night, keeping it to policy, Donald Trump's vision, Donald Trump's policies, why they work, and why Kamala's had 3.5 years and hasn't done anything. And that's been a disaster. But the bigger thing, even than that, it exposed the fact that he's not ready because they're hiding from the press. They can't explain anything. So when you have to sit there in front of the world and talk about what you're going to do, you simply can't. And that's a problem for them. That's why they're going to lose. I think it will move the needle. People are looking for information. This is going to get clips shown all over social media. People are going to pick that up and they're going to be like, yeah, I can't go with those guys, Donald Trump.
The needle. Yeah, and that's my question was it, I'm not going to say did Vance do good enough because he did, but do people care enough about the vice president for it to move the needle? I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I would bet no, but I don't know. We'll see. What's next? Oh, and Tony wanted me to tell everybody that he is officially changing his name to Mexicant Tony. No, the internet's down at the office. Hopefully it'll be up tomorrow. That's why he's not here.
We are figuring it out as we speak.
We'll make it happen.
Let's jump ahead a little bit here to this is MSNBC basically saying like he agreed with him all night. Like, why doesn't he just vote for JD? Talking about Walz.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There were so many niceties on that debate stage tonight. I am just kind of like, well, if you agree so much with J.D. Vance, why should they vote for you? I fully believe that Governor Walz went out there tonight and did what was practiced in debate prep, did what the strategy was that the team put together. That was not the Governor Walz that I had seen out on the campaign trail. That's not the Governor Walz that I had seen during the Veep stakes, right? That was not the J.D. Vance that I know to be true. I mean, goodness, J.D. Vance was on that stage. He was sorry about Amber Thurman. He was sorry about he was sorry about a lot of stuff. We get things wrong, but do you agree with the policy? And then I just, that's not the Margaret and Nora that I know. Margaret don't do that on Sunday morning. So I just think that I know that there's so many people out there that want normal. They want normalcy. They just want, just be able to just disagree with, you said a lot of things I agree with. This is not a normal election. J.D. Vance is actually not Paul Ryan. And Donald Trump sure as heck is not Mitt Romney. Okay? And what happened on that debate stage tonight was not enough contrast, was not clear enough for people sitting at home or frankly who will probably consume this through the clips in their local news or here on MSNBC or on social media to distinguish and make a difference.
Yeah, that was just a whole lot of nothing.
That was a whole lot of nothing.
Like a whole lot of nothing.
I mean, the only thing that she said that was true is what they have quoted here. If you agree with JD so much, then why is anybody voting for you?
For him? I'm sorry, that is the Waltz you've seen. Like, I mean, that is. I mean, on the campaign trail, that's because nobody is poking him, or Kamala. Nobody's asking them the tough questions. That's why everybody's so surprised.
And you can literally see in this moment throughout this clip, Waltz just nodding his head and agreeing.
Yeah, nodding, writing it down. Oh, that's a good. Let me write that down.
have a family care model that
Just watch-
makes
just watch
choice
him. Look
possible. And I think this is a very important substantive difference between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris's approach. I mean, look, if you look at the federal programs that we have that support paid family leave right now, the Community Development Block Grant, and there's another block grant program that spends a lot of money from the federal government. These programs only go to one kind of child care model. Let's say you'd like your church maybe to help you out with child care. Maybe you live in a rural area or an urban area and you'd like to get together with families in your neighborhood to provide childcare in the way that makes the most sense. You don't get access to any of these federal money.
He's just agreeing with him the whole time, and he took notes and nodded his head yes the whole time.
It's like when I was in college, you're like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. Yeah, I got it. Okay. Oh, yeah, I didn't know that either. Okay, good. Yeah, pitiful.
Well, let's jump to Tucker's reaction here about the fact checker, and he plays the whole clip in the middle. I'm going to skip past it because you guys have already seen it if you've been here in the show. But I just want to get Tucker's before and after to this clip.
So there was a moment. I think we have the tape where he did not allow the contemptible behavior of the moderators to infuriate him. He just kept going. I thought this was one of the coolest moments I've ever seen in a debate. Here it is.
Let's just skip through. Thank you for the fast forward sound.
Welcome.
Right there.
It's really kind of hard to describe how awful Margaret Brennan and Norah O'Donnell are. I think America just saw it. But that was masterful, I thought.
There's so much to unpack there. And you're absolutely right. It was masterful by JD. First of all, kudos to CBS for allowing Governor Walz to quote Matthew 25:40 without interrupting him and saying, I'm sorry, that's an attempt at bringing in foreign disinformation campaigns. We can't accept that.
May those words burn on your tongue.
Right.
That's what I thought.
And we're getting close to the end here, but this is New York Times. This is how they depicted it.
Wow. Vance's dominant debate performance shows why he's Trump's running mate. And Graham sent us a text like last night, and I don't know if I'm there yet, but he did push it a little bit forward for me. But, it's very possible that Vance just solidified his candidacy in 2028 with that debate right there. It's very possible. I'm not there yet, but we'll see.
I don't think he solidified the candidacy for 2028, but I do think he's setting the path.
Yeah.
I think what will solidify that will be the performance and whatever happens in November, but the performance throughout the next 4 years. What he does in office will solidify his chances in 2028.
Yeah. I mean, I have to say, like, for me, though, what it did for me was when Trump first announced J.D. Vance, I was like, who the heck is J.D. Vance? And now I'm like, okay, all right, got you.
I agree. I didn't know who he was, and like I said last night on the show, last night for me was like, all right, I see it. I see the matchup. I see the partnership here between him and Trump. It works for me now. I understood. And the people are seeing it because JD is now the first VP ever, Republican VP ever, to receive over 50% in an instant poll. From CNN, of all people.
Wow.
This is 2008, 2012,
51% to 49. Dang.
This is insane. 2020, 38% was Pence versus Harris. Unbelievable. And then Walz Vance, 51 to 49. That is insane. So that's our show. That's where we're at right now.
It. All right, cool.
Let us know, obviously, what you thought. In the comments, who do you think won the debate? Say Walz or Vance. I obviously know who I think won after watching all this last night and rewatching it again this morning solidifies it even more. But Todd, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I said it last night. Like, it was the same debate pretty much. And I said it before the debate. I said, now, I think Vance is more of a bulldog, honestly, than Trump, because like all the gloves were off. It was white dude versus white dude. And I said it. I said, if he gets fact checked by the moderators, he's going to punk them. And that's exactly what he did. And he just kept talking. He didn't care if they cut his mic off and he was still like, I mean, he didn't care. So like, I mean, kudos to him. And I've seen a lot in the chat. I wouldn't mind seeing a Vance Vivek or a Vance Huckabee Sanders in 2028. I wouldn't
Now
mind
that's
seeing
interesting.
it. So
Vance
hey.
Huckabee is really interesting.
Yeah, that would be huge. That would be huge. But no,
I don't
mean,
know.
look,
I'm not super. I mean, I am. You have to be concerned about 2028 as well. But it is full, for me at least, in how I'm thinking about it, it's full steam ahead for the next 35 days or whatever it is.
oh,
34
for sure.
days.
Yeah.
That is all that matters. That is all that matters right now. We will set ourselves up and figure out what we need to do for 2028 after this election. But what happens on November 5th is the most important thing, I think, to happen yet in America.
Oh, that's a fact. I will say
this will save or break America.
Yes, like we cannot, and I've said this, I don't know how many times, we will not survive 4 years of Kamala Harris. Like we will not, because I mean, all these promises that she's making right now, it's not going to happen, or they'd be done right now. I mean, just think about it like this: if she really, really wanted to win the presidency, she could do it right now. If she closed the border right now and passed some of those home buildings, the opportunity economy, if she did that right now, then she'd win in November. But the fact that she's not doing it right now means to me that she's not going to do it later. And therefore, we won't survive. So, yeah, I agree with you, Royce. And I'm a good bit older. We have had a few important elections and a few important events since I've been alive. November the 5th, circle that date. It's going to be one of those times where, like September 11th, you're going to remember where you were when the election was called.
But you're saying, I mean, the point you're making that we're not going to survive another 4 years, I completely agree with, because 2016 to 2020 was great. We started to hit COVID at the end of Trump's term, and then he the election happened however you want to say it happened, but Joe Biden was then put in office, and we all were saying the same thing, like, oh, this is not going to be good, this is going to be awful, they stole this, we were making all these accusations. And we have, if you look back, barely survived 4 years.
Barely.
Barely survived 4 years with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. And to your point, imagine yet another 4 years. We're in the brink of war. There are viruses spreading that they claim, at least, all over the place. Migrants flooding our country. We have barely survived these 4 years.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
If we do not make change and take a step back, literally, let's go back to Trump, but take a step back and say, whoa. We got to fix some of this stuff. We have to, what's Kamala's line? We have to do what has been undone or something?
Yeah.
So
can't go back. We can't go back.
Yeah.
I agree with her on that. We can't. We absolutely can't.
We cannot stay where we are.
Yeah, no.
We cannot stay where we are.
So like that, I firmly believe, okay, that is why Putin, China, North Korea, that's why they're kind of on the fence right now. They're waiting to see what's going to happen in November, okay?
Also, they all teamed up, didn't they?
Oh, yeah. And if Kamala wins
right
this thing, it's going to be like turning the lights off with the cockroaches. They're going to go everywhere. Can you imagine 25 to 28 million more illegals with more fentanyl, with more cartels, with more child predators, with more murderers, dude, I'm telling you.
I am fully convinced that there is I'm not going to say all, I'm not even going to give a number, but there is a large amount of these millions and millions of illegals that have come in that are just waiting for the call.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
To act, right? Mm-hmm. They're there for a purpose. They've come into our country for a purpose, not a good one either. They're not here to do God's work, okay? Nope. They're here to do something for their country that is not good for us, and they're just waiting for the call. They're getting whatever they need to get so they can get access to guns and all these different things, and they're getting places, and they're robbing people and they're stealing people's stuff, and they're just waiting for the call. And I think if a call like that is going to happen, it's going to be shortly after, or
it's going to be November the 3rd.
Exactly. Well, no. I was going to say maybe even after the election.
No, I think it'll happen at polling stations. I think it'll happen at
That's actually an interesting
voting
thought.
sections. I really do. Because think about it, you don't have to kill anybody. All you got to do is hit like 7 or 8, and then the whole country panics. And
Yeah,
then
and
we
then
go.
the Democrats are like, "What?"
I know. I'm telling you, dude. I'm telling you.
We didn't know they were gonna do that.
Like I keep telling y'all, I could be a supervillain. I could be. It's a
You
good
have
thing
the
I'm on our side.
the mastermind mentality.
Dude, I'm
yeah,
here.
they destroy a couple polling stations. The Democrats are like, "Oh, well, let's just count what's left then. Let's just count what's left."
Yeah.
They'll destroy all the ones in Texas, Florida.
Yeah.
They'll destroy the Pennsylvania.
See, I don't think they got to go Texas. I think they just go up north, where the people, because you ain't gonna scare Texas. You ain't. I mean, you're not gonna scare Texas. Do it up north, and then all them swing states, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Minnesota, all them, they won't go. They'll stay at home, just like during COVID. They'll stay at home. But anyway, let's go ahead and pray this thing out while we got a whole bunch of y'all in the chat. And then we'll get to as many questions as we possibly can. I think we got enough. I think we got just enough to get through them. So here we go. Let us bow. Father, we just thank you for a good day. Father, we thank you for being able to just come on here and reach the masses and talk about you and just that you empower us and give us the boldness to say your name. And just explain to people just like how amazing that you are and what a wonderful father you are, and that the invitation is open and it's free. Doesn't cost anybody anything, and there's no magic thing that has to happen. All we have to do as non-believers, as people that don't believe or people that have been far from you, is just accept the fact that you were both God and man, that you went to the cross an innocent man, and that you were nailed to the cross and you died, and that 3 days later that you rose again to prove that you had power over death, and that we are sinners in need of a Savior. And if we do that, then our names are written in the Lamb's Book of Life, and that our eternal decision has been made. Father, we love you. We thank you for all that you do for us. We thank you that you go ahead of us, that you open the doors that need to be open and close the ones that need to be closed, and give us the discernment to tell the difference between the two. Father, I ask all of these things in your Son's precious and holy name. And all God's people said.
Amen.
All right.
Shall we read some super chats?
Let's do it.
Get into the
Because everybody loves it when I read names. From Ratchet. After last night seeing Royce and Casey side by side, is Casey the older brother?
No.
They look and sound alike. Prayers continue for our Patriot family in the South. God bless them and keep them in his grip. No, actually, that was the first time Royce and Casey had ever met.
Definitely, yeah. It's not my older brother. Do we sound alike? I don't think we sound alike.
I don't think so.
I don't think so at all.
No, I would agree. Chris A. Henry, Tampon Tim looked high to me. What do y'all think? I think he was medicated. Because he wasn't as I mean, he was still kind of
you think
out
they,
there.
they suppressed him?
I think they gave him some Ritalin before he jumped up on there.
I don't know. There we go.
I don't know. Could have hit a doobie. I don't know. A Sereno 9167 grand for the damages to your hotel room. Speaking of that, dude, he's at the Trump Hotel. You know how many times he says, Trump and the team watch this show? Can you imagine, oh, let's see what Graham's doing. Click, and then you see Graham destroying your hotel room. I hope that happened. I hope he gets a text message. Miss Lori for help with Graham's security deposit and whatever else. Love you guys and all you do. Love you too, Miss Lori. NJ Kit Kat for Graham's chair or bail, whichever comes first.
Oh, wow.
Let's hope the bail, not the bail.
A couple large donations here.
Nice. LMC for Jesus, $100. Unbelievable. There's a person willing to hold the USA hostage. I have no issue with unions, but the ideology has been lost here. I feel this is pure evil. I will too. I will agree with you. Just a simple fact that the dude is bragging about it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not okay.
He's like a supervillain is what it feels like.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that dude, y'all heard his voice. That is Tony Soprano if I've ever heard it. I'm sorry. That is the mafia holding the country hostage. You can't tell me otherwise because they're union.
Again, 4 years under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and we're being attacked on every front.
Every single front. All right, from E. Vandervlist, 88, 200. Wow. Guys, thank you for doing the Lord's work and spreading his word. Thank you for helping the victims of the hurricane and giving us all an avenue to help as well. I hope this helps. Man, every little bit helps, but that's a lot of it. So thank you, bud.
We are tallying it up. We will let you guys know as soon as we do.
Ratchet, the best for me was the expert have PhDs but lack common sense. Hey, look, I agree with you 100%. Just because you have a doctorate or a PhD or a master's or whatever, don't mean you smart. That just means you're educated. You can be educated and still stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I know plenty of them. Billy Pollock. This wasn't a slip up by Walz when he said he became friends with school shooters. I think he's creating them with his bull policies like yeah, true. That's true. I agree with that. Lisa L, 1966 from at Lisa L, 1966. $50. Thank you, Lisa. Ratchet again. You guys were not watching him. He put the WEF in their place long before he was considered for VP.
Okay.
J.K. Ruiz. Continued prayers for the people in the South. God bless America. Thank you, J.K. Kiloho. Quit giving the other side ideas out loud on how they could win. You know we have trolls.
That's right, actually.
I'm telling y'all, it's just good thing I'm on our side. Ranger Green 22 for the hurricane victims. Bless them. Agreed. Sailor Shroom for the hurricane victims. That's a pretty cool name. Cadence N23. Nothing is a coincidence anymore. That's a fact. And I'm going to talk about that in the hot seat. Telling you, I got the whole spectrum thing going through my mind right now. It's scary.
And that's the show.
That's it. Cool.
That's it.
All right. Well, that's all we got. Ladies and gentlemen, do not forget to like and share this episode with as many haters as you possibly can. As soon as we get a running total on the donations, we will let everybody know. And hopefully the internet will be back up at the office and Graham will be in studio tomorrow. If not, then this is pretty much what you're going to see tomorrow.
Potentially, yeah, because that means no Tony either.
Possibly.
Sad.
So, but anyway, that's all we got. Don't forget to check out In the Hot Seat at 2 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to have some fun today. Royce, say goodbye.
Thank you, guys. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks for being here last night and today. Love you guys.
Yeah, awesome. And I am Hot Seat Todd for Graham, reminding you to stay awake, not woke. Trust in God, not the government. And as always, stay free.